Hello, all. Welcome to Smart Classes. Today is our first class for Paper 6 of Group 1. As I already told you, there are three sections, and here is the first section. And the first section deals with the idea of Telangana, that is the time period from 1948 to 1971. So, today, in the first chapter, historical background will be discussed, and it can be divided again into different subtopics. One is the geographical features, historical, political, economic, and social. Let's don't waste time and get into the first section, which is the geographical features. This is the erstwhile Hyderabad state, which was under the Nizam rule before Britishers entered. But once Britishers entered, there was cession of territories to Britishers by Nizams for various reasons. The first territory we'll be looking into is the northern Sirkars. Basically, Nizam's rule started in Hyderabad in 1724, and from 1724 to 1800 it was completely Nizam's rule. And finally, in 1800, Nizam's had signed a treaty of subsidiary alliance with Britishers. Once they have signed the treaty with subsidiary alliance, according to the treaty, they'll have to maintain British army. Maintaining British army has costed a lot for Nizams. So basically, for the British army to get lodged and to stay, they have used Ulwal village. Ulwal village is now Secunderabad cantonment area. So cantonment came from that. In this cantonment area, British army was maintained. So as I already told you, it costed a lot. Basically, what happened was in 1768, Nizams have given northern Sirkars on rent because of the cost of maintaining British army. Cost of maintaining British army was really high, so they have given northern Sirkars on rent to Britishers. But eventually, even after getting rent, they could not pay back the debt, or they could not maintain the army well using the funds they had. So finally, in 1788, Northern Sirkars was completely sold to Britishers for 1.6 crore. I know this amount is really less in today's amount. You can sell complete coastal Andhra for 1.6 crore in those days, but right now you'll get a house in Hyderabad, I think. So in 1788, Nizam too has sold Northern Sirkar for 1.6 crore to Britishers. And then the second area we'll see is Guntur Sirkars. Guntur Sirkars was taken by Britishers after death of its prime minister. And then the third area, which is Rayalaseema. Rayalaseema was basically given to Nizams by Britishers. Why did they give it? During the war between Tipu Sultan, Tipu Sultan versus Britishers, Nizams have supported Britishers. So, as a gift to Nizams, they have given Rayalaseema, and this territory was again ceded in 1788 by Britishers. That is, it is given back to Britishers because of their high debts. And then coming to the area of Berar. So basically, the area of Berar was given to Britishers in 1853. In the case of Berar, only trusteeship of Berar is given to Britishers, not complete territory. After the trusteeship was given to Britishers, the Berar territory was sovereign to Nizams, but the income which is earned from Berar is taken by Britishers. And then comes the Raichur Top. Raichur Dwab was also given to Britishers in 1853, and the belt, which is the districts of Darshan, are also given to Britishers in 1853. That is, these three areas, Berar, district of Darshan, and Raichur Dwab, was given to Britishers because they had very high debts. And in 1860, this Raichur Dwab was again given to Nizams. What happened in 1860 was the Hyderabad state was given the status of princely state. That is, the state came under direct control of Nizams. So there was no subsidiary events or anything else. This Hyderabad state is known as princely state, which was under direct control of Nizams. So this is about the geography, and these were the territories ceded. And finally, we are left with this region of this region of Hyderabad state. This region was multilingual because this part was the region belonging to Maharashtra, and this part was the region belonging to Karnataka, and this is Telangana, the present Telangana state. So, going to the next slide, these are the boundaries of Hyderabad state in 1948. In 1948, the northern boundary was Berar and central provinces because Berar was taken by Britishers. And in the west, the Bombay Presidency, east, Godavari district, the river Godavari, and coastal Andhra region, which is basically part of Madras Presidency during those times. And in the south, it is Madras Presidency. And the famous mountain ranges which were present in Hyderabad state are Balghat, Sahyadri, Jalna, Kandikal, and, which is also known as Racha Konda. And then, as I already told you, finally we are left with four regions of Telangana, one of which is Maharashtra, one is Karnataka, Maharashtra, Karnataka, it is not complete Karnataka or complete Maharashtra, part of Karnataka, and the Telangana region. And the complete Telangana region was under Hyderabad rule. So basically, the whole Hyderabad state can be divided into four parts. One is Aurangabad. Aurangabad has the districts of Aurangabad, Parbhani, Nanded, Bir, and the Usmanabad, which is basically present in the present Karnataka region, had Usmanabad region, Gulbarga, Bidar, and Raichur. Gulshanabad consisted of the present day Telangana districts, which are Medak, Nizamabad, Mehbubnagar, Nalgonda, Adrak. This region was Marathi speaking region, and this region was Kannada speaking region, and this is Telugu and Urdu speaking region. And the fourth Suba was Varangal Suba, which consisted of Varangal, Adilabad, and Karimnagar. Then comes the rivers flowing in Hyderabad state: Godavari, Manjira, Bhima, Tungabhadra, Penganga, Varda, Venganga, and Pranahita, because all these rivers are related to each other. And then comes Krishna River, and then the tanks of Ramappa, Pakal, and Laknavaram. Basically, there were many tanks built by Kakatiyas, Kakatiyas, Qutub Shahis, and Asaf Shahis. Qutub Shahis and Asaf Shahis. So basically, to allow the agriculture to flourish, all these kingdoms have built many tanks in the region of Hyderabad state. And then comes the historical and political features of the Hyderabad state. Let us look into the history of Hyderabad state briefly. That is, we'll just take the names of the kings because the history of Hyderabad state is covered in the history paper, where you need to learn in detail about Kakatiya sultans of Delhi and which parts of Hyderabad was ruled by which kingdom in the history paper, not in this paper. In this paper, you just need to know which kingdom was ruled and what is the chronology of the kingdoms. Basically, uh, the Hyderabad state was merged into Indian Union on 17 September 1948. We will discuss about the movements carried out and the fight for independence in the coming lectures. Uh, so basically, in all these years, Hyderabad was ruled by Kakatiyas initially. They have ruled up to 1323, and then Sultans of Delhi up to 1347, and then Bahmani Kingdom till 1527, and then Qutub Shahi till 1687, Mughals till 1724, and from 1724 to 1948, It is Asaf Jahis, who are also known as Nizams. Asaf Jahi dynasty. These people are also known as Nizams dynasty. And then we will get into the rule of Nizams in Hyderabad state. As I already told you, 1724 to 1853, rule of Nizams were autocratic. That is, there was a king and a prime minister. King was passing farmans and and these farmans were implemented by prime minister. That's it. There was no legislative council or a cabinet council or a group of people who were deciding, or a common man is given a chance to participate in the discussions or to get into the budget or to give any suggestions. And the contracts, when the farmans are implemented by the prime minister, the contracts were given to Deshpandes, Deshmukhs, and Talukdars. What happened in 1853 was there was a prime minister called Salajang I. Salajang I has made many reforms in the administration of the Nizams. He initially removed Deshpandes, Deshmukhs, and Talukdars, and he introduced reforms like and he introduced many reforms by which people became happier, that is, which were helpful for normal common people. For example, tax based on crop yield. Before the reforms of Salajang I, the tax was levied on the field, which was fixed. That is, even if you get a crop or not, or don't get a crop, if there's a famine and there's no crop, even then you'll have to pay the fixed tax. But he has changed it to tax based on crop yield. You can pay the tax depending on the yield you get. That is, if you don't get any yield, you're not paying any taxes. So this has become helpful for the people. And then there came a law which is known as Qanun Shah Mubarak. According to this law, which came in 1892, according to this law, there was a formation of cabinet council and a legislative council. Cabinet council basically consisted of ministers and the advisor, and the legislative council basically consisted of six members who were all government members. People were definitely not happy with this because all the cabinet council and the legislative council were again government members, and they were not the common people, and the common people was not given a chance to represent. So there was no change in lives of the common people. And then comes the modifications in the Legislative Council. As I already told you, Legislative Council initially consisted of 6 members, and then it has been changed to 22 members. Among the 22 members, one was the president, vice president, and 6 government members was converted to 12 government members, and 2 members who were elected by Jagirdars, that is, who were nominated by jagirdars of different locations. And two people were nominated by advocates. They can be advocates or they cannot be advocates, but they are nominated or appointed by advocates, and one is appointed by the estates, and one member by the prime minister, and two temporary members by the prime minister, depending on the situation and the issue taken up. And the elections for these members are conducted every 2 years, and no representation for the common people. Common people cannot vote or cannot be elected. Then, coming to the administration of the Nizams. Basically, Treaty of Subsidiary Alliance was signed on 12th October 1800. In 1853, as I already told you, Nizam, under the rule of Nizam IV, there were huge debts on Nizam government. When British took over Berar and ceded the territories of Raichur Doab, etc. And then in 1853, Salar Jangwan has become the prime minister, whose actual name is Turab Ali Khan. He has made many reforms and he has made many decisions which actually helped Nizam administration to flourish economically also. In 1857, as you already know, there was a revolt which is known as Sepoy Mutiny, or the First War of Independence. So, during this war, Nizam has given unconditional support to Britishers. So basically, when Nizam has given this decision was taken by Salajang I, and because of this support, Britishers has given 50 lakh debt exemption. That is, Nizam government was under debt from Britishers, which was amounted to be 50 lakh, and this 50 lakh was completely exempted. That is, they need not pay back rupees 50 lakh to the British government, and they have also given back Raichur and Usmanabad. These two districts have yielded about 21 lakhs income every year. So, the decision of supporting Britishers in 1857 revolt has definitely helped Nizams to get out of debts. So basically, these are the historical, political, and geographical conditions before 1948. So, in the next class, we will discuss in detail the economic future and the social features. That is, how does a society exist, and economically, we have just started as a part of administration. Well, but we'll discuss it in detail in our next class. We'll also discuss about the social features. That is, how does a society exist, and the problem with Muslims and Muslim rule and the Hindus, and the education. All these aspects will be discussed in the next class. Thank you so much for listening. See you in the next class. Thank you.